Students in Santa Fe go back to school on Monday, but tonight parents are learning all about the new security measures after that mass shooting in May. Lauren Tallarica went to that meeting and joins us live with the changes that are taking place at Santa Fe High School. Lauren?
Well, and quite honestly, I think I need about 20 minutes just to outline those changes because there are a lot of them. So I'm just going to go through some of the biggest ones for right now. So come Monday morning at this high school, there will only be 3 ways to get in, and those 3 ways will all have metal detectors. Once school is in session, that drops down to just 1 entrance. All students and staff must wear ID badges at all times during the day, and no jackets below the hip or with large pockets. Santa Fe ISD police have added 5 more full-time officers, so 15 officers total. And in addition, there are 9 part-time officers and 10 campus security assistants. There's also a Parents on Patrol volunteer program. 25 people are signed up for that. And this is really interesting. There's a threat assessment team. And these teams are meant to ID students that they think may have some concerns with these students. Social media will be monitored. The classrooms have improved locks plus panic buttons, and staff will be trained in mental and physical first aid. Tonight, the parents we spoke with said they are pleased with these changes.
I would not hesitate to put my kid in Santa Fe. I would hesitate to put my kid maybe in another district that hasn't faced the same tragedy, because we are, in my opinion, doing more than what is necessary.
So all of these safety procedures that are in place, that the district says, of course, their goal come Monday morning is not only safety, but also normalcy for these students. And we are certainly wishing them all the luck in the world, Len. Back to you.
All right, Lauren, thank you.